So this is the courtroom, huh?
No, this is Judge's chambers. This is where Monk's case is going to be heard, though.
Oh, this place is very informal. Then Morton should feel very comfortable in here.
Judge is always comfortable. People in front of the bench should sweat.
More encouraging news, is that it, Harold? Goodness. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, fine. Do you know Harold Webster? Harold Monroe Lassiter?
Mr.
Webster?
Yeah, well, Monroe, you are looking real sharp there.
Yeah, you gotta fix that tie, buddy. Won't look sharp.
The costume was Gene's idea.
Costume cost me $135, don't you forget that.
Well, that's a nice touch. You nervous?
Yeah, everything about this building scares me. You know, I hate the smell of the wooden floors, and I can't stand all those little wires crisscrossing in the window. It's like school, you know, only without the kids.
I'm sure you'll keep your opinions of the municipal building to yourself.
Absolutely. Don't do any back talking to the judge.
Hey, come on, they ain't that stupid.
It's not your brains that I'm worried about, buddy. It's that temper of yours.
Hey, come on, Gene. He'll be all right.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about me, because I'd do anything to get out of here.
You know, Monroe, actually, you're pretty fortunate that your case is being heard here in chambers.
Why is that?
Well, no publicity, for one thing. Nobody's allowed in here except people that are directly concerned with the case.
Did you arrange that, Harold?
No, actually, Judge Morton and the DA...
Judge Morton?
You heard of him?
Yeah, he gave a friend of mine 3 years for shoplifting.
Harold, wait a minute. Is this Morton? Does he have a reputation of being really strict?
Oh, Jane, come on. There's no need to dig up things to worry about.
Harold, just...
Look, Gene, I didn't pick the judge. Here's Arlene.
Oh, hello, Harold. How have you been?
Oh, fine, Arlene.
Good. How's the caseload?
It's heavy, but that's the way I like it. Look, I want you to meet Gene Redland.
Oh, yes, I've read your work in the Chronicle. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
And Monroe Lassiter, how are you?
Fine, ma'am. Nice outfit.
Thank you. Harold, I need to get settled.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you all.
Hey, how come you being so friendly to her?
Look, Monroe, when you live in the same town 14 years, you get to know the legal community pretty well. At least I didn't compliment her dress.
I thought it was a good touch.
Just try not to say anything about the judge's robes.
Hearing is in session. Hello, Arlene.
Good morning, Judge.
Howard.
It makes you feel like we all friends here.
Well, I've read both your reports, and I am ready to the case of the people versus Monroe Lassiter. Arlene?
Yes, Your Honor, the state intends to prove that the defendant, Mr. Monroe Lassiter,
Peter Davidson, isn't it?
Yeah, supposedly. What are you doing here at the college?
Working. I won't bore you with the details.
Bore me, please. This is biology. Have a seat.
That looks good.
Oh, yeah? This is an instant meal. You want one?
No, thanks. My sister's been on my case about calories and sedentary work.
Did you get her flowers?
You mean the idea for the 2 dozen roses was yours?
Well,
I thought that was wonderful. So did Amber.
well, I told him to send flowers, not 2 dozen roses. That he sort of took that on his own, you know.
He is prone to excess, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is. Look, I see him every day. Bore me with the details of your work. My dad was a reporter.
Oh, yeah, one of the best. Gene Redland tells me about the headlines your father made.
Yeah. Well, he had this tendency to get where the action is, you know? So what are you covering?
The opening of the new library wing here on campus.
Big time.
Oh, my editor doesn't think
Oh, Stacy, I'm sorry.
I
That
know
wasn't
it's
nice.
dull. And the more administrators I talk to, the duller it becomes.
You're bursting my bubble.
What bubble?
Well, I'm a liberal arts major. You know what that means?
You have no direction in life. You're in school to party, and you're going to stay here as long as possible.
Close, but not exactly. That means that I'm looking for direction. I'm thinking about majoring in journalism. Following my dad's footsteps.
And here I am complaining about the drudgery of cub reporting.
Shame on you.
Well, I hate to say it, but these are the facts. For every Woodward and Bernstein, there are 100,000 Stacy Phillips.
Now I'm depressed. Better have another one of these. Garçon.
And finally, Mrs. Martin says she screamed repeatedly, but apparently Mr. Lassiter made no attempt even to investigate.
Aren't you supposed to object to something along the way?
Yeah, just relax, Monroe. She ain't got a shred of evidence.
Arlene, I appreciate and even share your sentiments, but you have very little proof here that the defendant was involved in Mrs. Martin's attack.
Granted. That's why the state is willing to accept Mr. Lassiter's plea of guilty to the charge of trespassing and drop all other charges.
If she was going to drop the charges all along, what was that big speech all about?
Gene, she's just giving one for one. She's willing to trade trespassing in exchange for breaking and entering if she can get a tougher sentence on the charge.
I take back what I said about her outfit.
Mr. Webster, do you have anything to add?
No, Your Honor, except what we've already read, and that is the assistant superintendent of the detention center has written of the defendant that his behavior was exemplary and consistent, and he is unlikely to be the recidivist his reputation might suggest. End quote.
Mr. Lassiter, would you stand, please? It is my understanding that you turned 18 while in the detention home.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you are aware what privileges that age carry as with respect to a police record.
Yeah, they all wiped clean.
That's correct. Unfortunately, it has been my experience that although you can change the record, you cannot change the man.
Well, sir, I think I have changed.
Thanks to the detention center?
Yeah, that's a dead-end street.
Well, not to be too cynical, but I've heard that in this chamber before, particularly from men who wind up here a few weeks later. Could you explain your nickname? Is it Monk?
Yes, sir. Well, that's because I go off places, like a monk.
You mean where no one can find you?
Yeah,
Is that how you won your reputation?
could be. People gonna think what they want. But I don't go off places to rob or steal anything.
What do you do?
I just,
Think? Meditate?
yeah, meditate.
Very well. You understand that this court is not bound by any agreement that you've entered into with the prosecuting attorney.
What?
You may discuss it with Mr. Webster.
Yes, sir. Hey, how was it?
You're doing just fine.
What now, Harold?
Well, now the judge's going to make his ruling. If your mama was here, now's when I'd ask her to pray.
Thank you. So, tell me about some of your other articles.
Come on, don't do this to me.
Hey, I bet you they're not as bad as you say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How much?
An order of fries.
You're on. Let's see. I was once assigned the St. Gertrude bingo scandal.
No, that's terrific.
Oh, come on, Peter. No fair. You have to be honest.
I'm not kidding. That reached all the way to the top, didn't it?
Very funny. It was actually a crooked committee chairperson who was skimming off the top.
How'd they catch her?
Her card had 2 free spaces.
Investigative reporting, that's great. What else?
Well, There are some annual events that McGovern always gives me. The House and Garden Show at the Civic Center, the 4th of July Parade. Oh, and I always get to quote the policeman on the hazards of fireworks.
Oh, please go on. I'm just seeing if I have enough for the French fries.
I can't go on. It's too depressing. I'm a good reporter. It's just that McGovern, he's my editor, won't give me any real stories.
Now, what's the deal? I've heard Gene say a lot of great things about you. And your dad, too.
Thanks. I respect Gene's opinion. Of course, Dad always says great things about me.
Now, why do you say it like that? Just because he's your father?
Well, yeah. And Amber usually gets more than her share of the compliments, so sometimes I think Dad feels like he has to make up the difference.
You mean by saying you're a good writer?
Oh, yeah, and that I'm... Well, you know, fatherly stuff. They never seem to outgrow it.
Yeah. My dad used to do the same thing. I owe you some French fries. You got the time?
Sure.
I'm gonna order because the service here is miserable. Right?
Okay.
I've reviewed the case and heard the testimony. While I agree that the defendant's presence in the school the night of Mrs. Martin's attack is fortuitous at best, I also concede to the fact that there is very little evidence showing that the defendant was directly involved. Citing this and the fact that Mr. Lassiter is being tried as a minor, and it is his first offense, and his behavior in the detention center was commendable, I find that the defendant's plea of guilty to the charge of trespassing exclusively be entered into the record.
Halfway out of the woods.
As to the sentence, citing the reasons that I just gave, it is suspended. I am, however, placing you on a 6-month probation, Mr. Lassiter, hoping that you will find a better environment and seek gainful employment.
Your Honor, Mr. Redland here has opened his home to the defendant.
Very good. I hope you take advantage of that hospitality.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. By the way, you really look good in black.
Thank you. Case dismissed.
Congratulations, buddy. Good.
I'm a free man.
Hey, with the emphasis on man, next time you'll be tried as an adult.
Hey, there ain't gonna be no next time. Hey, thanks for everything, Mr. Webster.
Glad I could help. Hey, look, Monroe, you're so style conscious and everything. What do you think?
Like I said, thanks for everything, Mr. Webster.
Well, so you like to go off places by yourself and think, huh, buddy?
Hey, let's not talk about that, all right?
Hey, just getting to know you a little bit more. Well, after all, we're gonna be roomies, right?
Yeah, hey, thanks a whole lot.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Not bad, Harold.
What's up?
I've got an unpleasant surprise.
Polls?
No, the first polls won't come out for weeks. Here. What do you think?
That's original.
Oh, it's not original, it's stupid. Original would have Uncle Sam pointing his finger with a copy reading, "I want Hugh."
So what are you telling me, Sebastian? You defecting to Hugh Wainwright's camp?
I'm telling you that Wainwright has already started his campaign. I ran into Mel Franklin at the coffee shop this morning.
Wainwright's campaign manager?
Yeah. He was bragging all through his Danish, going on and on about the money he's getting.
From where?
Oh, all legal sources, don't worry. Oh, when Oliver handpicked his replacement, he made sure his friends knew about it.
So we've got funds, too.
Exactly. And the packaging and the know-how.
Don't forget the product.
Never would.
So what's the unpleasant surprise? That Hugh Wainwright has discovered poster art?
That he started campaigning already. I was hoping that, well, that we'd have more time to organize.
You know, I am always grateful for employees who reprimand themselves.
Oh, no, I'm not taking all the blame. No, I tried to meet with you a number of times about strategy. You were too busy.
Too busy going to these.
What's that?
Never mind. You can't see it. It's my visitation schedule. You'll give it back to me with 4 more stops on it.
All right. We're all busy. Just that I can't stand thinking I'm ahead of the game and then finding out how far behind we really are. How's, Kate?
Oh, boy. Sebastian, you're starting to sound like a broken record.
Oh, correction. You've been seeing her for 6 weeks now. That's a broken record.
Listen, Kate is a lovely lady. She's a close friend of mine. She's a terrific campaign worker, but she is not political bait.
Oh, well, she knows Whitestone personally.
Who's that, the senator?
Well respected in Kingsley. Might be able to get you an endorsement from him.
Well, call me an idealist, but I would like my platform to do that.
Oh, come on, Lee. Save it for the podium.
You're getting very cynical in your old age.
Well, the stakes are higher.
Listen, I'm very well aware of what the stakes are. And they go beyond my personal welfare. They reach the lives of everyone in Kingsley.
Hey, I like that. Let me get that. Let me get that down.
Yeah, never mind. All right, listen, I'm very glad that you're lost in the forest of billboards and the media numbers. But from now on, you let all the endorsements and the platform come from this office and not from your office. All right?
Hey, Marianne, not that it's gonna help, but I think you should know.
What now?
I saw Russ. He came over to the house.
When?
Last night. He wanted money.
You're kidding! He asked you for money, too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He waited till my mother went upstairs and he tapped on the window.
What did you do? Is he all right?
He asked the same thing about you. Well, he's on the run. He wanted me to give him some money. I gave him a couple of bucks. Ran upstairs, he got some more, and in comes Ben and Lori. He ran out the back door. He also wanted an address.
I don't understand.
He wanted to know where Miriam Mason was. I told him the King's Arms Hotel.
Well, maybe he wanted to find her. Maybe he thinks that she could help clear him of the kidnapping charges.
Mm-hmm. Or he knows her father's loaded.
Oh, when is this all gonna end, Peter?
Marianne, it is over, okay? Now it's gonna end when you stop thinking about Russ all the time. You gotta get on with living.
No.
Now forget him once and for all. Hello?
Let me speak to Marianne Prescott, please.
It's Russ.
Why do I get the feeling I'm being edged out here?
It's not that at all, Sebastian. I just don't want you dictating policy to get me elected.
When was I doing that?
With Kate.
Oh.
Now listen, you don't try to understand. The time I spend with Kate is very, very private. It's an escape from politics altogether. It's a little world without any pressures and without any issues. And now you're trying to invade that world.
Oh, that world was invaded long before I got here.
Meaning what?
Meaning Kate Phillips is a political property. That's how she's perceived by the press and the people. You can't blame me for noticing that.
Well, I blame you for trying to capitalize on it. Now, you're not to use her to get Whitestone's attention, that's all.
Now, look here. It's my job to capitalize on whatever comes our way.
All right, fine. Kate came my way. She didn't come your way.
All right, then. A lot of things came your way. Like good looks, political savvy, a legal degree. Are those things off limits, too?
Listen, that's not what I'm talking about. Open your ears.
Open your eyes. Just where do you see this neat little line that separates your private world from the public arena? And who drew that line for Kennedy at Chappaquiddick? I ask about Kate because I wanted to hear it from you. Now, would you rather I read it in the gossip column of the Chronicle? It's there every week. It's on Wainwright's mind. It's on the electorate's mind. Kate Phillips is a given. Now, if you think someone's at fault for that, I thank you not to pick me as the scapegoat.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I'm not finished. Look, I don't create candidates, but I most certainly capitalize on the ones I work for. Now, if that bothers you, You don't want a campaign manager. You want an idiot.
Russ?
Marianne, was that Peter?
Yeah, he told me that you went to his house last night.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to.
Russ, where are you?
Hey, never mind, I'm in a phone booth. Listen, I want you to know where I'm gonna be.
What?
I'm going to be at Warehouse 19, and that's down at the docks. You can see me there. You can meet me there.
I can't do that.
Marianne, come on. I need money. Didn't Peter talk to you?
Yes, but I can't help you. Russ, I saw Sergeant Brubaker this morning.
Did he come looking for you?
No, I went to him.
You what?
Yes, I want to help.
If you wanted to help, you'd help me get out of here.
Russ, the police want to talk to you about Saddleback. Now, Brubaker said that technically no charges have been filed yet. They could probably clear you.
Marianne, come on. Don't you see what they're trying to do?
Russ, if you chose to turn yourself in, they would probably help you. They could maybe clear you of this. I'm sure of it.
No, there are no choices for me. Not anymore.
Russ.